Blackstone Audio presents The Loo Sanction by Trevanian. St. Martin's in the Fields. His pain was vast, but at least it was finite. Sharp-edged waves of agony climaxed in intensity until his body convulsed and his mind was awash. Then, just before madness, the crests broke and swirled over his limen of consciousness, and he escaped into oblivion. But always he emerged again from the delirium, cold and perspiring, weaker than before and more frightened. A crisp wind fluted through the arches of the belfry in which he was prisoner, and drove his tears horizontally back to his temples. During troughs of awareness between crises of pain, his mind cleared, and he was bewildered by his reactions to impending death. Matthew Parnell Green, Uranus, in the planet code of the counter-espionage agency that employed him, had always known that violent death was a very real alternative to retirement in his line of work. He was not physically brave. His imagination was too active for that. So he had sought to mute his fear by callousing that imagination. He had forced himself to rehearse being shot, being knifed, taking a faceful of cyanide gas from a tube concealed in a folded newspaper, being poisoned, his urbane flair always insisting upon the poison being in exotic foods consumed at really good restaurants. And he had attempted to toughen his tender imagination by abrading it with anticipations of the more disgusting alternatives. He had been drowned in a bathtub. He had been suffocated, his face blue and his eyes bulging within a polyethylene bag. Air had been injected into his heart. Always he had died well, with a certain dignity, not struggling dumbly against impossible odds. He had imagined pain, but the end had always come quickly. He had long ago realized that he could not withstand torture, and had decided he would cooperate fully with his questioners should it come to that. Fear, pain, anger, even self-pity had been anticipated so often that they held no more dread than he could stand. But his anxious fantasies had not prepared him for the emotion that now
Sample complete. Ready to continue?